So it was reported by Jason Dumas that Joel Embiid has made it clear to the Sixers management that he wants them to exhaust every option to try to acquire Kevin Durant. Exhaust every freaking option for Kevin Durant. I did a video on this yesterday, and it's confirmed. Joel Embiid, I mean, of course, who would not want Kevin Durant on their team? What's up? What's happening? What's popping? What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another great edition of Symone with the Sports. I'm Symone, bringing you guys the daily sports talk. So if you're new here, if you're old here, you haven't already subscribed to my channel, stop what you're doing, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Also, make sure you check out the many links down below. The first link is to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel. The second link is to shop the official Symone with the Sports merch collection. Get you the classic tee, the wavy tee, or the fly or die crew neck for all of my Birds fans. And lastly, guys, shop my Fanatics affiliate link down below for all the best officially licensed gear for any of your favorite sports teams. And guys, turn your notification bells on because you already know the videos are coming like boom, 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 boom. And you don't want to miss a single video or a single live stream. But guys, we have a lot to get into today. So NBA free agency started yesterday. It's July. How y'all feeling? You know what I'm saying? What's July 7? Yeah, so we're halfway through 2022. Let me know how y'all feeling. Like this year going by fast. But y'all, NBA free agency, the best time of the year. We have a lot to talk about. So we already did a full video on the Sixers moves so far because that was just one day. Only one day has gone by. Moves are still being made. Moves will continue to be made. So, you know, this is just my first day reactions. But we know yesterday we signed PJ Tucker. The Sixers did. That wasn't any surprise because we've been hot on PJ Tucker's trail. James Harden did opt out his contract to make room for players like PJ Tucker, who Embiid specifically wanted. And we also got Danuel House as well. We also signed another guard from the Houston Rockets, Trevion King. Excuse me if I got that wrong. But an extreme depth piece, but who knows, he might, do something. But the biggest moves for the Sixers was PJ Tucker and Danuel House, and then, of course, we traded for MELTON during the draft. So the Sixers have gotten better defensively. We have gotten much better depth-wise as well. Still need to make a big move if we want to become a championship contender. But, guys, we have a lot to talk about. So, one, staying on the Sixers for right now, it was reported yesterday by Stephen A. Smith, and that's kind of funny to me because usually it's not like Stephen A. Smith that's reporting stuff. So I don't know I'm not saying he's not reliable, but I don't know how reliable Stephen A. is as a source. But I mean, the man is basically ESPN. So I mean, if any sources are coming through ESPN, I'm sure Stephen A. can be the first one in line, probably ahead of Woj even, but honestly, I don't know how they rank. But anyway, Stephen A. was on the free agency countdown show yesterday, and Stephen A. said, Philadelphia 76ers were on the phone with the Nets, willing to give Kyrie Irving a 3-year deal, guarantee him a 3-year deal, but there was no way Embiid he was interested in going to Philly and rejoining with James Harden or anything like that. So that was a smokescreen. So because Kyrie Irving put out a list of teams he was interested in, and the 76ers were on that list. Now, of course, most of us found it far-fetched that Kyrie would want to come to the Sixers, given that him and James Harden reportedly had beef with the Nets. But, y'all, the Sixers still made that call for Kyrie Irving. So that's crazy in my mind. And we're guaranteeing him a 3-year deal. Obviously, if we were going to make a package to send for Kyrie Irving, it would have to be Tobias Harris would have to be included because of that money. And the Nets were interested heavily in Matisse Thybulle last season when we were trying to acquire James Harden. So I would think that the Nets would have wanted Matisse Thybulle as well. But again, Kyrie didn't want to come to the Sixers, and that's all fine and dandy with me because he's a part-time player. He's wishy-washy. Who knows what's going to happen when he comes to the Sixers? He might not show up for 50% of the season. But I think it's crazy that the Sixers were on the phone. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to some more crazy business. So it was reported by Jason Dumas that Joel Embiid has made it clear to the Sixers management that he wants them to exhaust every option to try to acquire Kevin Durant. Exhaust every freaking option for Kevin Durant. I did a video on this yesterday, and it's confirmed. Joel Embiid, I mean, of course, who would not want Kevin Durant on their team? Kevin Durant instantly makes your team a championship contender, depending on the team. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some teams that, no. But if you have Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant on one team, that's just insane, in my opinion, in the best way possible. And of course, Joel Embiid wants to win a championship. So of course, he wants the Sixers to go after Kevin Durant. Now, the question is, obviously, with Kevin Durant, obviously, he played with James Harden in the past. Would he want to play with James Harden again? I don't know. Honestly, from what was reported from the Nets camp, it was Kyrie and Harden that had the beef, not necessarily James and Harden. But honestly, I'm not sure if Kyrie would want to play. I mean, if KD would want to play with James Harden again. But either way, Joel said, go get me Kevin Durant. Joel said, go get me PJ Tucker, and the Sixers did it. Now, I know PJ Tucker is not Kevin Durant, but the Sixers are obviously listening, as they should, to Joel Embiid's request. So that's huge. But somebody had me weak in the comments and were like, if we send a haul to the Nets are basically going to be the Sixers, which is hilarious. Seth Curry and Ben Simmons are already there. Andre Drummond ended up leaving to go to the Bulls. But Seth Curry, Ben Simmons, and then let's say we trade Tobias Matisse and Tyrese Maxey. That's the freaking Sixers just converted to the Nets. That is hilarious. But y'all, let's move on to some other stuff that happened around the league. So one of the biggest pieces of news, it was a lot of pieces of news, but Jalen Brunson ended up signing a 4-year, $104 million deal with the New York Knicks, and he's actually going to get to play for his dad, who is an assistant coach right now for the Knicks. I didn't know that. But Jalen Brunson secured the bag. But y'all, I don't know from the Knicks' point of view, like, if that was the smartest move. So we know Jalen Brunson is a dog. He's a good, great guard, great point guard. He balled out, like I said, in that series against the Jazz in the playoffs with Luka out hurt. But in my opinion, it just seems like a lot to give to a Jalen Brunson, who's obviously, that's not on a champ. Now, when I think about these moves, I'm like, teams want to win championships. Jalen Brunson being your best player on your team is not going to win you championship. Like, Jalen Brunson got to be your third best player, maybe second, but definitely not your first best player on the team. Now, you could argue and say, oh, it's what's the guy's name from Duke? RJ Barrett is better. I can see some Knicks people debating RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson. Either way, if RJ Barrett better than Jalen Brunson, that's even worse, because you gave your second best player $104 million. It's just gonna be harder for the Knicks to make more moves in the future. But that's great for Jalen Brunson. You got your bag. The Knicks got the guy that they really wanted. Congrats. It's just not giving threat in the Eastern Conference to me. But get your bag, hon. Get your bag. And somebody else who got their bag, Bradley Beal, 5-year, $251. Y'all know I can't read my handwriting. That could be a 5. That could be a 6. That could be an 8. But $200+ million deal, which again is great for Bradley Beal. Amazing for Bradley Beal and his family, like, rich. But when it comes to the Wizards, like, if your goal is to win, the Wizards are still not going to be a threat, because they got all that money locked up in Bradley Beal. Like, you're not going to be able to sign another big player, and you're going to need another big player to win and, like, be a threat if you're the Wizards. Like, Bradley Beal, again, he's going to need us 2 more stars, or another star at least next to him, and the Wizards won't be able to do that. But congrats to the Beal family. They got their bread. When it comes to the Wizards, again, still not a threat in the East. Won't be a threat in the East for a while, as long as he's sucking up all that money. Now, somebody else, the Joker, signed the biggest contract in NBA history. 5-year, $264 million. Okay, now the Joker got $264 million, so that means that Bradley Beal, that has to be a 5, I wrote down. That has to be a $251 million for Bradley Beal. But either way, so the Nuggets got the Joker got the Nuggets. Beautiful match made in heaven. We know the Joker deserves that money. Great for him. Great for the Nuggets. Still need Jamal Murray to come back healthy. But that's whatever. The Trailblazers ended up extending Anthony Simmons, and they also signed Gary Payton from the Warriors. They got him for 3 years, $28 million, which is a big move for the Trailblazers to get him for so cheap. So they also added Jeremy Grant earlier in the offseason. So they really shored up their defense with Jeremy Grant, and then also with Gary Payton as well. So those are some good additions for the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers team that's probably still going to be aggressive and trying to make moves. Now, something big, getting to more like the bigger side when it comes to the East. The Bucks, y'all, the Bucks made sure the Bucks reshored and really running it back with the same team. So honestly, you guys know I would have had the Bucks winning it all if Chris Middleton didn't get hurt. But they ended up re-signing Javon Carter, Wesley Matthews, and they were able to re-sign Bobby Portis, who became a free agent. trying to get a bag, and the Bucks recognized what they had in Bobby Portis, and ended up giving him a bag. So the Bucks really shored up, and that's going to be a continuous threat in the East. The Celtics also made a move today. They traded for Malcolm Brogdon, and they sent Daniel Theis and Aaron Nesmith and 2023 first-round pick to the Pacers for Malcolm Brogdon. So they got their true traditional point guard, because a lot of people were saying Marcus Smart wasn't enough of a true point guard for them. But regardless, they got him in Malcolm Brogdon. So the Celtics and the Bucks are the two teams in the East that I feel like made the biggest moves. Even though the Bucks didn't necessarily bring anybody that new in, it's them being able to shore up their team, and the Celtics bringing in Malcolm Brogdon. The Bulls got Andre Drummond, who we know is a rebound machine. He averaged 8.8 rebounds last season, backing up Joel Embiid, and they also were able to re-sign Zach LaVine for a bag. So, guys, that's pretty much all the big free agent news that has happened so far just in day one. Let me know what you guys think were the most shocking moves and what moves you are anticipating. But in the meantime, make sure you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Check out the links down below. Buy me the coffee, help fuel this channel. Shout out to Symone with the Sports, our merch collection. Until I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.